guys and bad guys, cowboys and Indians, sinners and saints, masters and minions. They're all the same to me. They're all the same to me.
Welcome to Fence Post Politics, the only place for unfiltered, nonsensical, probably fake news that you never asked for. Brought to you by the Burning Daylight Podcast and your host, myself, Matt McKinley, Aaron Ellis, Tim Martin, and Rob Drost. Now let's have a little bit of fun, talk a little politics, and tell a dirty joke or two.
And you call it trick magic, might have fooled everybody, but you didn't pull nothing on me.
Oh.
Happy New Year.
2024.
Happy New Year, 2024.
Wow.
Man, I remember in 2020, like early into the year, when Trump took out Qasim Soleimani.
Doesn't that seem just such small potatoes?
I know, and like with good justification, I was like, holy shit, I hope this doesn't trip off some sort of accidental World War I scenario. where because we took out Iran, but it was an Iranian guy, but it was on Iraqi soil. Is that going to somehow bring like Syria and then Russia into this deal, and then like the dominoes fall like it did in World War One? Like, turned out the fear was overblown. The Iranians don't want none, and
they don't want none. No, they don't.
And yeah, so like crisis averted, kind of, I guess. I mean, it's still it's hardly, you can't look at the Middle East at all and say crisis averted once and mean it. Like, it's just a giant crisis all the time. But I thought that, I was like, how do you start the year off so quick with something so monumental? And here we are, like, not exaggerating, on pre-Civil War grounds, like on the road to Civil War, with pulling presidential candidates off the ballots in different states. This shit is getting spicy.
You know what? I had since I'm slowly turning into a conspiracy theorist, just like Matt McKinley over here. Like, so everybody heard about the Japanese earthquake, right?
Mm.
And so I was, of course, Instagram. It's got to be true because it was on Instagram. There was this report about all this earthquakes happening around the world, and I was like, "Is this to cover up the list coming out for the July or the Maxwell stuff?"
And well, maybe it was.
What?
Maybe it was.
I went full tinfoil. I was just on my computer today, like,
See,
what
but
about
also
this?
you got to look at it from a different angle. Now, is the Epstein list the cover up?
Epstein, not Maxwell.
Yeah. Well, she's in it too, Ghislaine
Yes.
Maxwell. It's from her case. So, but on the flip side, is this Epstein client list the cover up for something like truly evil that happened to cause the earthquake in Japan? Like, I wouldn't throw that off there.
He twists it right back.
Yeah, like I wouldn't take that completely off the table either. Is it plausible? No, not really. But is it possible? I don't know. Hold
on. Let me go down the rabbit hole with the Matt McKinley thinking. Next, Matt's going to think that it was the same weapon they used on Maui. And he's going to investigate, seeing if any roads that were blue were not cracked.
All right. So here's where,
just feeds into it.
This whole episode could, I mean, we're gonna laugh. Don't get me wrong, but this whole episode's kind of dark because if you haven't been paying much attention, like, we're living in a really fucked up time. Like, it is weird as shit, and it's like It's like that Chinese proverbist or whoever it was. Was it the Buddha that said it? But it was like a Chinese philosopher that's like, may you live in interesting times, because holy fuck, man. It's like I said, things are getting spicy out there.
I mean, are the boomers here's the best indicator. Are the boomers freaking out? Well, the boomers are always freaking out. That's another thing. The boomers are now just so angry and fed up with everything that I feel like they freak out at the smallest stuff. So I don't know if I should freak out, because they lived through, the Cold War, missile crisis, presidents being murdered. They know crisis. So is their freak out? Is their freak out legit? We should be worried, or are they just token on the Uncle Bill O'Reilly?
Let's squirrel that away for the, because I want to weigh in on this a lot. But the one thing that kind of gave me hope on this whole thing, that maybe it's just not a bunch of evil, a cabal that's just like planning. It's not like a bunch of vectors from Despicable Me trying to just wreak havoc. Is
Why did you pick Vector?
Because Stephen Hawking was on the Epstein client list, apparently. And Vector's not in a wheelchair, but Stephen Hawking wasn't always in a wheelchair either. So
you could have said like a whole bunch of Professor X's.
True.
Gliding wheelchair.
But I'm not big into the comic book world, so that didn't pop to my head. But I've seen Despicable Me a million times, and so I'm just not. I was more into like cowboy movies and war movies rather than Marvel and the comic book stuff. I was
a lot of My Little Ponies.
Yeah, a lot of. Like it was a lot of Louis L'Amour, Zane Grey, and then like military history books, and then war movies. That was what my jam.
And Julia Roberts movies.
That my mom loved her some Julia Roberts.
She
and we had a lot of Julia Roberts movies. I've seen most of them. Pre 2004, I've seen most of them. If not all of them. I think surely there's some I've missed, but all right, so Stephen Hawking going to Epstein Island, that's it's just made for comedy. Like that.
Oh yes. Thank you. Take another 100.
It's as weird as you think it is. Even weirder.
Put your black hole in my face. Put your black hole in my face.
All right. Who I guess this isn't
Don't
Stephen
show
Hawking's
list.
own voice. But question: did Jeffrey ever talk to you about Stephen Hawking's proclivities? Answer: yes. He liked watching undressed midgets solve complex equations on a too high up chalkboard.
No fucking way. That's not real. That can't be. That sounds like a Will Ferrell movie. That can't be fucking real.
I want it to be real so bad. I don't know if it is. I've seen
fucking way.
Kate Bowen sent it to me. What did Rob's gonna be.
He's doing parent. Oh, first, can we rip on fucking Tim? What do you think Tim's doing? Is this Les's pegging night? Is that what it is?
Tim's getting pegged. He's just doing deep stretches right now.
He's
been walking around with a plug all day.
Hey.
he's getting greased up.
When Tim has to go to the furry convention with Les, what type of anal plug tail does he have? Is it a fox?
Oh, it might be a My Little Pony.
It's a little bunny rabbit. Just one little poof.
What if it's a rat tail? Because he's from New York, and there's a ton of rats in New York.
Uh-huh. It's a fucking rat tail. Oh, fuck you, Tim.
He liked watching undressed midgets solve complex equations on a too high up chalkboard.
Like, wait, so how would they solve them if it's too high? Would they get on each other's shoulders?
Maybe, or I mean, I guess you could do some of it in your head probably, but if it's complex.
Oh, if it's Stephen Hawking, he's going to make them show their work like he's a first grade teacher.
Yeah. Don't take shortcuts, bitch.
Wrong again. Wrong again.
I before E except after queer.
Like, what kind of equations is he throwing out there?
E equals MC, you're a fag.
Complex equations. Like, can you imagine that's got to be actors, right? Or is there, no, it's got to be, I don't even know. I'm not even going to try to understand the inner workings of that shit.
I mean, Stephen Hawking probably had a higher degree of access to the midget population than, say, you or I would imagine, just because he's a professor and whatnot. So there's, there was a whole handful of midgets running around CSU when we were there.
I did notice.
And so, yeah, I would think that being on a college campus, he would have a higher interaction rate with the midget people than we do. But I mean, I guess if you can't move anything except your eyeballs, there's just, there is nothing to do except let your mind wander. So, I mean, I guess you'd probably get into some weird shit.
You'd be like Matt on his horse.
Kind of.
Be like Matt on his horse.
Just let your mind wander. You got nothing else to do. But, like, here, I can at least jack off. Like, he couldn't even do that. So, like, he's just looking at shit to try to make it move. He's just like, please move. And one time, that was it. It was two naked midgets trying to solve the theory of relativity. And, he tried the
Jedi mind trick his dick.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And I mean, this man was truly a scientist, I think.
So, who on your list are you? What would devastate you? Somebody on this list that would devastate you, them being on the list.
Bill Murray.
Ryan Reynolds.
That would suck.
Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, that would suck too.
Chuck Norris.
That would be weird. I don't know if that would devastate me, but that would be fucking weird.
That would be.
It'd be fucking weird. How pissed is Stephen Hawking though that like he couldn't have just asked some midgets in college? I mean, like, especially nowadays, like they're into some weird shit in college nowadays. So like you wouldn't have had to go through a sex trafficker.
And now he has dirt on you. Well,
yeah,
he did.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess maybe. Well, apparently Stephen Hawking's just a freak, but I say, is he a freak, or is he just trying everything possible to make his dick move once?
Or is he a freak, or is he just Mad on his fucking horse. Come on.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they got paid. I don't know. I hope they got paid. Like if it was me, I would make sure they got paid. You know, and everybody's a consenting adult. That's kind of the line of reason for me is like, is everybody an adult in the room, and is everybody okay with it? If so, fuck it. Let's watch some midgets jump around and try to solve a math equation on a
no. Undressed.
Right, naked. Yeah. And and a too high up chalkboard. So it's not like way high up, but it's just like annoyingly high.
See, this is what women don't get about men. Is like, even in just a scenario that is ridiculous as this, I guarantee if me and Matt were asked to watch this with all consenting adults and getting paid, we'd be like, yeah, I want to see that.
All right. I mean,
like,
if everybody's cool with it and it's all, you know, I won't say above board because I mean it's fucking weird. Let's call it what it is.
Jump higher.
But I mean, yeah, as long as the midgets aren't being exploited, I mean, you know, illegally, you know, as long as they're being fairly compensated and they're all right with it, why not? Let's see it. Let's see what happens.
How much is the pay for something like that there, Matt?
I mean, honestly, I'd be like, "What's your price?" I mean, I don't know. See what they say. And like, all right. It's I don't know. I'm very much a free market guy on this one. Like it's all about the price discovery. Are you willing to pay that? I don't know. I'm willing to pay about $30 entry. that's about as much as I'm willing to pay.
$30 and you get a free. I'll even drink a Bud Light. I'll even drink that.
Like here's the deal. I'm not going to pay very much, but I could bring a whole bunch of buddies and charge admission. So there you go. You know, I'll pay $30, and I bet you I can get 100 people to pay $30. So there you go, $3,000. There you go, little fellers. Have at it.
Jean-Claude Van Damme would just shiver me to the core.
All right.
Or you know who else? You know who's my number one? It'll just really devastate me from shock. Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton. You're gonna be really shocked.
I'm gonna be shocked and devastated.
Yeah.
It won't be stunning Willie. And brave. Yeah. Billy. No, Billy. No.
What if Hill Dog's on the list?
Oh, you know that bitch is on the list.
You think? What do you think Hill Dog's into? Because it's obviously not Bill.
No,
that was an arranged situation there.
What is she into? I don't even know. I don't think she's into anything.
I think she's over here with old Stevie.
Yeah, she's into the classroom session.
I like to think that old Stevie wheeled himself out of there before like the trap door, went out from under him, and Hillary fed him to the crocodiles or whatever the fuck they got going on. You know.
Is this a Matt McKinley story? Is this something you heard on the intranets?
No, this is just my imagination here. Okay. I'm going full villain mode. Like I was saying, I
Dr. Evil. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not dead, but I'm very badly burned.
Oh, Will Ferrell, don't be on the list. Don't be on the list, Will, please. Please no.
Whoever wrote the dialogue on those Austin Powers movies was like, it was like the puns were just the incessant pun after pun after pun after pun. I always enjoy that. Just beat a dead horse until it's funny.
You know what? I just realized one of the good things about Chris Farley not being with us anymore is I think Chris Farley was a decent human being, but with enough drugs in him, I feel like he'd just go anywhere. You know, he'd just go anywhere. Like we can rest assured he's not on the list.
Yeah, yeah,
That one would
probably
kill me.
so.
That one would kill me.
That one would suck. Yeah, that dude was probably better off a flash in the pan, because he'd have probably been into some real weird shit.
He
The
turned into
longer he
Don
went on.
Vito.
Don Vito, yeah. That dude, he's dead now, isn't he?
Oh yeah, that's right.
And but yeah, he was in prison though, or headed to prison, one of the two.
Yeah, he was another pedo.
Was it underage with him or just sexual?
I thought it was underage.
I can't remember.
Hold please.
Yeah, that whole clan is had some issues over the years that well, they got widely broadcast too. That's the oof.
Right.
Anyway, so that's just one story to kick off 2020. I guess we did talk about the ballots a little bit, but we'll reserve that till Rob gets here, because I want to see if Rob is a truly principled lawyer or if he's truly a hack like we think he is.
He's a hack.
I'm guessing so. But then
yeah,
2023 was a wild one.
He had 2 counts of sexual assault on a child.
Okay.
Groping 3 young girls, 1 14, 2 12.
Oh shit! Yeah,
this was in Colorado.
I remember it being in Colorado. I didn't realize that he was a pedo. I remember there was something to do with sexual assault, but I didn't know. I didn't know all the details. Huh. Well, fuck that guy then,
Fuck. All right, what's next, Matt?
Well, now it makes those and all those scenes where he gets the shit beat out of him, like it makes it kind of, you're like, oh well, fuck, he had it coming. Maybe Bam was right. Maybe Bam's just tortured because he knew the whole time and nobody had let him tell. I don't
So
know.
he just fucking assaults him on the daily.
Yeah, well then went crazy his own self. Like, boy, he was not doing well there for a while. Not well. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What was your favorite? Or what was the most notable news story of 2023 for you?
You know what? I was thinking about this today. I can't remember fucking 4 months back because there's just something fucking new every fucking day.
Yeah, you've got to, and I hate to do it because I get tired of talking about the motherfucker, but it all leads back to Trump, and he has led to, whether through his fault or else, he has led to so many just unprecedented situations in American history, and it's like it's just one after the other, and it's got to the point where, like, honestly, I wish there was a better candidate. I've searched around, I've shopped around, and I don't know who. Like, I'm gonna vote for Vivek in the caucus here, but he's not winning shit, so it's not like it matters. Trump's going to be the nominee, but
the most hack thing in politics I saw all year, where it's just straight up tribalism. Oh, or did John Fetterman did he get elected this year?
It was in 2022.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I just thought that was the most, like, this guy can't speak.
Yeah.
Like, this guy can't speak.
I know. And then it just, like, that was the tip of the iceberg. That was the young one. And then right. Like, Dianne Feinstein was like, had given over power of attorney to her daughter while she was still making votes in the Senate.
Right. I'm not qualified to make decisions about my welfare, but definitely the welfare of the United States of America.
Right. And then Mitch McConnell is just like freezing up. for tens of seconds at a time, like very uncomfortably just frozen. And yeah, you're just like, "God, can somebody just take him home?" And
Is 2023 the year of the geriatric?
oh, it's just like the last gasps of the boomer generation clinging to power, you know? And just like the hell of it is like who votes for these fuckers? You know, like I remember I voted for like Pat Roberts or Pat Robertson in Kansas because there was nobody else to vote for. It was Republican or Democrat, and Pat Robertson was 100 years old. And like, when's the last that time that dude's been to Kansas? I don't know.
Pat
But
Robertson, the host of the 700 Club.
is it Pat Roberts or Pat Robertson?
I don't know.
Not the 700 Club guy, but no, he was a senator from Kansas for a long time. But you're just like, how do they get there? And then like somebody like Nancy Pelosi, I guess it's just a different world in San Francisco because I'm just like, who honestly is like, yeah, Nancy's my gal.
Well, you've got the cult followers, and then I bet like the majority of them are like me now. I don't even want to vote.
Mhm.
Like, I just don't fucking want to vote. Like, I can't, in good conscience, throw my vote behind somebody because they're just all fucked. They're all,
They are all
fucked.
fucked.
They're all fucked.
But I just I don't want Donald Trump to be president again. I think he'd be better, obviously, than Joe. But like honestly, I don't know if the country would be better because like I thought the Democrats hit peak outrage like 2018. I thought surely they cannot reach another level of outrage with Trump, and then it just like kept escalating. And like I'm honestly kind of scared of what they're gonna try to do if he gets like how many times will they impeach him? Well, like 7, 8 times does he get impeached if he gets elected again?
This time for reals.
For real. And yeah, is it going to be to the point where the Senate just automatically votes no on all the impeachments? They're just like, no, not again. Again, no, we're not.
We're not doing this again.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just fucking stupid. So, but also like this bullshit of just truly the weaponization of the law against somebody is just like, no, I'm gonna vote for the motherfuckers because of you guys, just because of all the horse shit that you guys are doing. You don't deserve power. You can't be allowed with power because you abuse it. I don't care how much you dislike the guy. You can't claim that the sitting commander in chief led an insurrection against the government which he presided over without using any of the forces under his direct command. You know, like there was no insurrection.
Well, and I was telling Kate, I saw something on Instagram. It was something ridiculous. Like there's this old granny who, I don't know, she didn't open the door, but she walked through the Capitol basically after everything went down, and she's going to jail for, I don't know, some amount of time. But now you got Sam Bankman-Fried, who they're dropping one of the cases. And it was supposed to be the case about all the political donations.
Yeah, all the political donation charges got dropped. And
what
just
the fuck?
Yeah, it's just fucking blatant.
What the fuck?
Just blatant. And yeah, so like that was a huge story from 2023. It was, I mean, it's been happening forever, but like people really kind of started paying attention to like the corruption end of Congress, and like why is Nancy Pelosi beating the S&P every year? Like Warren Buffett doesn't even do that, you know?
You notice how she retired after all that crap started coming out?
Well, but then she announced she was running again.
Oh!
Yeah, well, Nance ain't going anywhere.
Well, then you got, oh, look at her.
Hey
guys.
buddy.
Hey, buddy.
How's it going? Hey, have you heard about the Epstein client list yet, Rob? There he is. Can you hear me?
Is Rob from Chicago?
Yeah, I think he's from Chicago.
Ugh.
I hear. Did you hear about the Epstein client list yet? They just dropped a batch of it here a few minutes ago, I guess, a couple hours ago. No.
I can barely hear you guys.
Oh.
Turn up your headphones then, amateur hour.
Yeah, I don't. It must be on your end.
Rob.
You're a hooker.
Rob.
Anyway, Stephen Hawking was on the Epstein.
Oh, damn it.
Damn it.
Is Rob going to pull, I have bad an internet connection? Is he going to pull it?
Maybe.
Is he going to pull it?
Is he yanking it to naked midgets trying to solve equations right now?
Except for Rob, he doesn't want complex. He wants just like simple addition and subtraction. That's what he wants.
If Rob's
incorrect
granddad or something was named Robert and happened to be listed on the list like as a lawyer or something like that, and then all the internet sleuths find Rob like, why were you on Epstein Island?
It's okay. I'm his lawyer.
I've never left Chicago until I went to Colorado.
Bill, baby, go.
Yeah, the geriatrics in Congress, the corruption, the insider stock trading is, which I mean took a bath today because the market went way down, but
would the NASDAQ lose?
Let me see the.
Oh, and you know what? Fuck the White House messaging. Every day the stock market hits another high, they take credit for it. Like, oh, this is a new high. Like,
it's the same thing that Trump did that they gave him shit for.
Yeah,
and they're both There she is. They were right when they criticized Trump for taking credit, and they're wrong about it now. Like the stock market's not a great indicator of the economy anyways, but it was Dow Jones was down 284 today, S&P was down 38. I don't know what the NASDAQ, but since October 27th is when I started doing this little investor thing. Nancy Pelosi's portfolio is up 11.5 or 11.1%. And if you bet the inverse of whatever Jim Cramer says, I'm up 15.3% on that. So,
wow.
Yeah. So, so Rob, did you hear about the Epstein client list that they just dropped a batch of names here a couple hours ago? Still can't hear.
Rob, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Okay. But had you heard about that at all?
I didn't hear what you said.
The Epstein client list.
Oh. I dabbled.
You
did? I dabbled in looking at that, but I don't know the particulars about it, Matt.
Well, apparently Stephen Hawking was involved.
Oh yeah.
I love his stuff.
Oh, don't worry.
Right, well,
you're gonna love it more.
This is some of the questioning with a witness. And question: did Jeffrey ever talk to you about Stephen Hawking's proclivities? Answer: yes, he liked watching undressed midgets solve complex equations on a too high up chalkboard.
He's still trying to process. Yes, that's exactly what you're thinking, Rob.
Now,
That's
Again, I have no idea if this is real. I have not seen any actual like document that it's just been floating around, just on memes here within the last couple hours. So I don't know the authenticity of it, but I want it to be real.
He deserves it.
I think as we were talking earlier, I think he's not truly depraved. He's just a man whose dick physically does not work, and he is trying everything imaginable to get that thing to move one last time. And maybe the midgets did it for him. I don't know. And if nothing on your body besides your brain and your eyeballs work, I mean, you got a lot of time to think up all sorts of weird shit. So, I mean, and I don't know, maybe he was a horn dog and he just wanted his dick to work one last time, and he was throwing everything at the wall to see what stuck, what got hard, I suppose.
Just Matt pondering life questions on his horse.
I'm trying to rationalize Stephen Hawking being a real giant piece of shit, you know?
So, Rob,
I don't think it's that hard.
Who on this list, if their name was on there, would just totally devastate you? Oh, you know what? What if Mike Ditka's on there?
Erlacher?
I don't care who's on that list. All right. You could have your absolute heroes on the list. You just, you're like, okay. What can you do?
Throw him in jail. I mean, that'd be a start. Right. That would be a start.
If they were actually doing that shit, if they were involved.
This is sworn testimony, so
I can swear my testimony on a lot of things. Okay,
Wow.
My testimony all over your face.
You don't need a criminal lawyer. You need a criminal lawyer.
So we got Stephen Hawking. Who else is on this? Who else is in the 30?
Alan Dershowitz. Let's see. I mean,
yeah, that
which one's Alan Dershowitz?
Isn't he a lawyer?
He's a lawyer. He looks like a skis ball. So, like, yeah, that's not a surprising one.
Wasn't he? He was a lawyer for OJ, right?
Was he?
That was Johnny Cochran.
No, he had like 8 lawyers, and I think Alan Dershowitz was part of the team.
Yeah, he may have been, because then like the Kardashian dude was also part of the team, right?
Yeah, that's him. He was part of his legal team.
Bill Clinton was mentioned.
What?
So this one, did Jeffrey ever talk to you about Bill Clinton? Answer: he said one time that Clinton likes them young, referring to girls. I like them young, man.
Fuck. Hey.
You
can't do the voice.
Now, who's testifying here? Is this the wife? Right?
I'm not sure, because I haven't seen, like I said, I haven't seen the actual documents. This is just people posting screenshots of them.
Oh.
Well,
this could all be bullshit.
This is Jane Doe proceeding under a pseudonym. Parties, plaintiff is so this looks like maybe that's just another screenshot, but I don't know. Like I said, that's why I prefaced this. I didn't know if it was all true or not. This is such powerful individual that Epstein forced then minor Jane Doe number 3 to have sexual relations with was former Harvard law professor Alan Dershowitz. Oh wow! So Dershowitz is a for sure pedo if this is indeed the document they're talking about. So why has there not been any charges filed against him, I wonder?
That's a good question.
Because this isn't enough to do anything?
The sworn testimony from a court case isn't good enough to enter as evidence?
I mean, if you want to try to say that this one document leads to something else, but this by itself,
okay.
I mean, you got to have more.
Okay.
Shouldn't there have
Well,
been further investigation at this then?
So this one, did you ever see Donald Trump at Jeffrey's home? Not that I can remember. On his island? No, not that I can remember. In Mexico? No, not that I can remember. In New York? No, not that I can remember. So, I wouldn't have been surprised if Trump had been on the list as.
I wouldn't either.
So he is mentioned, but it's the mentions are of him not being involved. So, yeah. So, do you ever? That's the same what we just read. So, how many times have you had sex with Tom Pritzker? Do you know what that? Who's Tom Pritzker? Did anybody know?
Pritzker, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. Isn't the current governor of Illinois a Pritzker or something like that?
Pritzker organization, Pritzker family.
So there's something, huh?
Yeah, JB Pritzker, isn't he the guy?
Hyatt Hotels executive chairman Thomas Pritzker. If I would have read the tweet, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Jimmy
his
Kimmel
cousin is the governor of Illinois.
Oh, huh. Interesting.
Actually, yes.
Jane Doe number 3 was forced to have sexual relations with this Prince Andrew when she was a minor in 3 separate geographical locations. Yeah, that one came out when the trial was going on, I believe. Jean Lou Brunel, I don't know who that is.
Jean Lou Brunel.
Yeah. Question Marvin Minsky. I don't know that. Question George Lucas. No. So George Lucas wasn't there. This is by Mrs. Menninger. I don't know. I think she was one of the witnesses. Did you ever or Donald Trump? No. Did you ever massage Donald Trump? No. And sorry to ask, but I have to ask, but did you ever have sex with Alan Dershowitz in the back of a limousine with Virginia and Jeffrey present? The witness said absolutely not. Okay, so that was not the one that I don't know. Apparently she didn't have sex with Alan Dershowitz in front of
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. That's her sworn statement anyways, or her sworn testimony.
This is Jane Doe number 3, or who's the testimony from again?
That one was that was Menninger. Ms. Menninger. George Lucas. Well, I don't know if that's whoever tweeted this said George Lucas never went to Epstein Island. I apologize right now. I'm not gonna say he didn't go. This one witness didn't see him there. That doesn't mean shit. George Lucas looks like he'd be a creep too. Guys can't deny that one. I'm not saying he is, but he's got that look.
Hollywood directors of the 70s did a lot of weird shit.
And then he just looks sleazy too. Like he's just like sloppy, sleazy looking. Rob Reiner, same way. Magoo.
Ron Howard? Ron Howard.
With Ron Howard and others. Red power.
Better red than dead. Better red than dead.
Shit. So what did you think the biggest news story of 2023 was, Rob?
Oh, come on. I don't know. I mean, give me some. I'm blank. I'm firing blanks right now. So
it's the syndrome
give me
I
some
identified.
Ideas.
There's been so much shit after shit after shit. You can't even remember 2 months ago.
Yeah. So you got the Israel Gaza
thing.
Oh,
you got the indictments of all that shit. That was fun.
The indictments, right. the pulling off of the ballots, like some really really kind of uncharted territory for the Supreme Court. So that's
Oh,
I mean,
that yeah, we got our good home state of Colorado. All right.
You know what the biggest story of the year was? Rob got his first pubes.
You didn't tell him about my pubes, did you?
No.
he took what was left from his head and just glued him down below. Finally, Rob finally hit puberty.
My woman likes me wearing cologne.
I like him teeny
Shades.
and toasty.
Yeah, so you had the Israel Gaza stuff still
Yep.
ongoing. You got Ukraine Russia war still ongoing. We just gave ultimate. I mean, it's now 3 days into 2024. We have another Maine pulls Trump off the ballot. We have the U.S. government now suing Texas over their latest immigration law. Mayorkas is being brought up on impeachment proceedings now. They like that just happened here within the last couple of days. The Department of Homeland Security secretary is being investigated for under impeachment proceedings. So that's just in 3 days. But then we had all the Trump stuff, the indictments, the raid on his house. Was that in 2023? Was that? It's hard to.
And I was like in January or something, right?
It's all
Yeah,
melding
so.
together.
It just like blurs together.
It's all the same.
Yeah, it's just like this giant collage of Trump and well, and then Biden is. We were also talking about like how the Democrat Party is now like it's infected with these like really insane lefty college types like that. Like I don't.
Oh,
even
the Harvard
remember.
president resigned, and all those guys. That's been
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. Apparently, it was really hard to say under oath that
Calling for
calling for the
Jews to be
genocide
killed
of
is, you know.
Jews was against their harassment. Like that's.
I had the most fucked up thought when I heard that. I was like, huh? She must have met Rob. Like that's the hatred.
It's like just look at you think about that, you're like, I get it.
She focused on the wrong thing about Rob you should hate. Not his ethnicity. It's just the city he comes from and its fandom for the sports teams in that city. That's why you hate Rob.
I get what she was trying to say too, is like, but there's a really easy way which you'd think a college president would be able to respond to. Like you kind of had to know what you're going into, but the answer is
it seems like they all said the same thing, so I think they rehearsed this answer, and it was like just did not like whoever was their media guy that was coaching them before they were doing this testimony was like, all right, I want you guys to say it like this, and it didn't work.
Well, and
I bet it's all Gen Z telling them what to say.
Yep.
Right, but like let's go back to like some actual professional shit.
Can't piss off the pro-Palestine folks.
You'd say no, and the reason being is because there was no directed action towards any Jewish people. It was simply being shouted. Without any incidents of violence, it's hardly against a harassment policy. There was no Jews being chased down while they were chanting. And that's you could label specific circumstances as to when it would cross the line, and she didn't even do that. They just said it depends on the context, or is it a contextual deal? What is the context? And then that leads to a great soundbite for the Republican. Well, actual genocide. Well, like, come on, lady, there was no legitimate threat of genociding the Jews on Harvard. Okay, like it's the Republicans also getting up on their high horse, but like, holy fuck, you're the president of Harvard and you can't answer better than that? Like, goddamn, that's.
It's a real simple answer. It's like if you're calling to kill people, then you're gonna get in trouble. Like that's all you got to say.
That's literally all you got to say.
That's what she should have said. But even like in the roundabout way they were trying to go, there was still a way more direct approach to go to where they could point to and say, like, there were no violent incidents. It was strictly inflammatory speech, but there was no direct action of violence, so therefore it doesn't, cross our threshold or whatever the fuck she was trying to say. I don't know. I think they're not that smart.
Did you hear that, Rob? Matt hates Jewish people.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, I heard it.
I hate them. Hate their guts and livers. I hear the Jews don't have livers. Is that a thing, Rob?
I mean, we drink a lot, so that, I mean, if that's true, we would die a long time ago.
I heard it on the internet. I just want to know if it's true. Oh shit. Yeah, there was some wild shit gone down. And I don't know. We were talking when we let off before you got here, Rob. Like when Trump took out Soleimani in 2020, that seemed like such a huge thing, and it was. Honestly, it was still a pretty fucking huge thing. But
pretty tight butthole.
It seems like a century ago. Like there's so much shit that's gone down since then that it's like an afterthought. Except now they just blew up his gravesite. I'm guessing it was probably the Israelis that did it. Today
we helped.
Killed 100 people.
You know we helped.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did.
When you heard that story, even before you contemplated all the consequences that came after it, weren't you kind of like, yeah, fuck yeah, America, fuck you?
No, I'm not, because I'm really over the Middle East. Like we've been there our entire adult lives, and I'm kind of over it. Like I really weren't doing so much bullshit, and I'm not anti-Jew or whatever. I'm just like, I'm tired of like just being the one barrier from Israel getting in trouble with the rest of the world. Like I don't know, man. Like
Rob, you hearing it?
It's not our fucking fight. It's not our fucking fight.
I heard it again. Matt hates Jewish people.
You said it again. Like
he said it again.
Just said it.
Yeah, it's just like we've tried for a while now to make shit cool over there, and it hasn't worked. And we sunk a ton of money, lost a lot of people, and we got our own fucking oil. Let's leave. Like, God damn it, man. It seems pretty easy to me, but maybe it's not.
You anti-Semite.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, Jesus was the Messiah, so fuck up.
Fuck you, Rob.
Yeah, it's weird situation over there. They took out the Hamas guy in Beirut today, which is a whole other country.
Saw that.
That's neat.
That is neat.
We the U.S. military or U.S. government issued a ultimatum to the Houthis today to stop fucking around, or we're gonna strike your shit. So we're probably have planes on the way at the moment. I'm guessing because the Houthis haven't really. They still just keep slinging drones and shit, which we're spending like $1.5 million to shoot down a $10,000 drone. It's fucking stupid. It is so stupid.
Yeah,
but you're forgetting the best story of 2023, which was Loam Boebert getting her tatas.
Oh, that was a great story.
And she looked good.
My favorite.
She looked good.
It pales in comparison to the Senate staffer in the raciness, but it was, since he was just a staffer, the Boebert is a bigger story. The weirdest thing is I never, like, it's always conservative influencers that are always pushing out the weirdest shit, like some man getting his shit plowed out by another man on this, in a Senate hearing room, and it's just like a bunch of Daily Wire and like Post Millennial and a bunch of like right wing influencers showing the video of a dude getting butt fucked in the Senate, and you're just like, would a headline not have done just fine? Did you have to put the video?
Well,
Come on, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it.
what would be the New York Post headline on that one? Or is the New York Post gavel pounded in Senate Judiciary Hall?
Well, the dude that was getting pounded out made a joke about receiving a large helping of German sausage as he posted it to like a private Instagram story. So apparently it was a German dude that was fucking him in the butt.
Oh. Well, fuck.
Yeah, so it made Lauren Boebert seem like a little church lady, you know. So,
she didn't do shit.
Compared to that, nope. She was very mild mannered, but she also changed districts, so she's gonna be representing my home district.
All right, she's going to my home district, number 4 now. All right.
Yep.
All right.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, man, Rob's happy about that, huh?
I was having a hard enough time with whatever his name is. Now he's retired. I forgot him.
Ken Buck.
Ken Buck. All right.
Rob, you know what you should
Fucking
do?
Gilbert.
You should contact her campaign and tell her you're going to host a fundraiser. Oh, yeah. That would be so good.
Can we do a podcast with Lauren Boebert?
Yes.
Rob, we have to host it at your house, but I want to do I want to do a podcast with Lauren Boebert.
He has to wear the dress she was wearing at the Beetlejuice thing.
Oh,
obviously. Prerequisite.
Obviously.
License and registration.
She has to yank us all three. I mean, like I'm a former constituent. Like I'm no longer a constituent, but I have family members, so like I need some assurances that you're gonna do a good job there, lady.
Dibs on first.
If it's a handy, I don't care. But
I think she'd give a good handy.
I think so. I mean, she
like enthusiastic
as an escort for a while. I'm sure she gives a good handy.
Oh, her
might have to pay a little bit about it. Like a donation.
Her handies end in head, like no doubt.
It'll be enthusiastic.
Oh yeah.
There's no way it doesn't.
Yeah, she's like the best hand job is with your mouth, bitch, and then she get after it. Like, she's that kind of lady.
Lady in red.
I'm always in like a moral quandary with the state of politics. Like, on one hand, I love the comedy of Donald Trump and Lauren Boebert and all these old fuckers being on the very, very near edge of death at all times. I love the comedy aspect of it, but at the same time, I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with everybody? Like, how did we let this to happen? You know, it's like, goddamn, we are a stupid fucking country sometimes, and like more often than not here recently. So it's moral quandary. That's kind of how I felt all 2023, and then it just shit happens so fast now because of all the flow of information, and like I don't even know what to focus on. How am I supposed to prepare for any sort of a stable future investing or anything with, you're like, I don't know, like they could just shut down the entire oil industry tomorrow because we signed some piece of paper at a summit. And what the fuck, man? Like, where are we going? What the hell is going to
ratify? I thought in order to be a part of an international treaty, you had to ratify it through Congress and Senate first. But it seems like we're skipping that step lately.
A lot of steps got skipped. Like we went from declaring a national emergency to like almost every governor in the country going like full authoritarian, just like shutting down everything. You can't do this. You can't do this. You got to get this shot. You got to wear a mask here. You got to do this. Like Cuomo was trying to shut down cross-border traffic. between states. You know, like one of the founding principles that we that we set up our government on was free travel between the states, and he was trying to shut that down. Which, like, I guess is not unprecedented, but it's still like, oh, hey, that's that's not really a thing, man. Like, that seems like you can't do that. But like, hey, it's an emergency. We can do what the fuck we want.
Allegedly.
Yeah, it's and then like on the flip side, you have like Texas, who's criminally prosecuting a woman that had a miscarriage.
Oh,
Katie
was
talking
about
the
this.
chick that has the she needed to get an abortion because her kid has like some terrible disease, like terrible birth defect, is going to die within a week, and they wouldn't let her abort the kid, so she had to flee the state to do that.
Well, and they were trying to prosecute her for fleeing the state too, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Freedom.
Like, what? That's
freedom.
Yeah, that's not cool either. Like, I'm kind of a pro-life guy, but I'm like I don't want the government involved in anything for the most part. But that, yeah, even though I don't believe that, I'm not a supporter of abortion like that. I'm not a supporter of that either. Like, I'm not a supporter of a theocracy, and in particularly like a really fucking crazy version of Christianity. Like that's some sadistic type shit. It's I don't know. So it's fucking crazy, and I wish the pendulum would kind of slow the fuck down, because it's like,
it's speeding up.
It's wobbling off the base right now, and like I don't know. It's they always talk about the hard correction to the other side, and I think it's just about to fall over, and I don't know what the fuck happens then. It's
about to be blown out like Tim's asshole tonight while Les is pegging him.
Yeah. All right. So, Rob, I want to get your thoughts on these ballot cases, like Colorado and Maine in particular. Or, well, those are the two so far.
Yep.
What's your thoughts on the legality of all this?
Well, I mean, basically, like what the Colorado Supreme Court said was like, the 14th Amendment says that you can't run for public office if you engage in insurrection. And it was made after the Civil War. They basically didn't want anybody that was fighting on the South to be able to enter politics in American, like the normal union government. So that's what you've got. And basically a district court in Colorado said Trump engaged in insurrection on January 6th, or all that shit that he did. And basically, but they said, the district court said, even though he did that, this specific part of the 14th Amendment that doesn't apply to the U.S. president. Like, you can run for president, not Congress.
Because vice president and president were not mentioned in.
And so
it was 11.
That's what they said, and then basically the Colorado Supreme Court disagreed and said, yeah, it does apply. They didn't really understand why it wouldn't apply to everybody but the president. Basically, is what their logic was. And I get both the sides of the argument, I guess, in terms of like whether or not this truly applies to the president or not. I think it should apply to the president. I don't know why it shouldn't apply to like I know like they wouldn't like. Let's think about it, like when they adopted this amendment, like if Frederick Douglass or whoever, or Robert E. Lee or whoever decided to run for president right after they surrendered. Like, the 14th Amendment was meant to not let them do that. So, and whether it was Congress, like whether they wanted to run for senator or run for U.S. rep or whatever, or even hold like Secretary of State or like that was the idea. So I get that. I get the logic that the district court said, that saying that this only applies to, people running for Congress or whatever it is, but not the president. But then I also see like, why would you exclude the president specifically? So
what also
I'm a little indifferent on whether you say yes or no to it.
Well, and that the actual text says any office
Yeah.
Or I can't remember the exact verbiage, but it's and it seems to pretty clearly. And then like I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about some of the debate during the process, and specifically asked about that. They mentioned, they say, well, it clearly says and other offices or any office intended it for, of the amendment intended it
Fucking
for the
broke up again.
The president as well.
Yeah.
The thing I don't understand is the insurrection charge in particular would be a federal charge. Here we have a state Supreme Court declaring that he participated in an insurrection.
So that part, like, insurrection wasn't technically a federal crime in 1860, whatever it was,
Right.
when they adopted the 14th Amendment. It didn't exist. And he didn't need to try anybody for a crime of insurrection before applying that to the whoever they wanted to apply it to. So, like, Robert E. Lee did not need to get a trial saying that you engaged in insurrection. Like, it was, like, that wasn't the intent behind it, you know?
But he was the general of the army that took up arms against the...
So really,
Donald Trump is
the
the
idea of having,
commander
like, you need to be charged with a crime doesn't matter.
Well, I know. I'm just saying, though...
basically what the court says.
Right, but as the commander-in-chief on that day, he didn't call the military in to stop the proceedings, and when he told the people to go down to the Capitol, he also plainly said, go peacefully and go patriotically. There's a lot of other, like, we got to fight like hell and whatever, but it's all kind of considered political speech. And then particularly when he says go peacefully, I mean, that's a pretty important line when you have to prove that he incited them to actually charge into the Capitol. And I don't know, there's a whole lot of shadiness surrounding that whole situation. They released a bunch of videos, and you can see, like, clearly peaceful protesters getting shot by rubber bullets and tear gas canisters thrown into the middle of these crowds that are not doing anything. So, like, you have Capitol Hill police riling up the crowd prior to them actually getting violent. And I don't know, there's a whole lot of shit that it's hard to tie Donald Trump as a clear, like, member of an insurrection when he's in charge of the government of the executive branch of the government. He has the military at his beck and call. He's literally the leader of the military, and he doesn't call him in. So, like, that would be like a military coup. They call it a coup. They've been called coup many times, but there was no military involvement. The people that actually went into the Capitol were, for the most part, unarmed, and when they were armed, it was like bear mace, broomsticks. Like, there wasn't even any fucking pitchforks. Like, there was a lot of, like, blunt objects maybe, but you're not going to take over the United States government with blunt objects, and particularly with an organized insurrection. Come on, man. It's
so I mean, so that goes to the second part of the question. Like, the first part was whether or not the president really is included in this whole you can be removed, and then the second part is, did he engage in insurrection? And there was, like, a couple of legal arguments. Like, a lot of the GOP candidates are saying, well, he wasn't convicted of a crime. Like, well, you don't have to be. That's not the point. So basically what you're looking at, like you're saying, Matt, is whether or not the shit that he did on January 6th, rises to the level of an insurrection. And the Colorado Supreme Court decided yes, and I guess this chick in Maine decided yes. It really is up to the court to look at kind of this. It is unprecedented. Like, you've never seen a president do something like this in, however long. And that situation is really freaking unique. So, I mean, for me personally, like, watching an armed mob, storm the Capitol and try to do something so stupid, and not really do anything beyond, get on Twitter after they had been, entering into the building and saying, go home. Like, and then it's not just that, it's all the cockamamie shit that he was trying to do just to avoid getting moved out of prison. I think also helps in the insurrection charge when he's coming up with these weird plays of using fake electorates and conspiring with different lawyers and stuff like that to try to stay in and making up shit about the election, all that kind of stuff. I think, you can make the argument you don't have a whole lot of precedent beyond a civil war. And so, if you're saying that you have to use the army to storm the Capitol or whatever it is, and that's an insurrection, I mean, fair enough. But I think that even a crazy mob like they had down there is enough you could argue about. So I don't think the Supreme Court is really is honestly going to say that, yes, this is an insurrection. I think that they're going to be they're going to set a bar really high.
As they should.
That's my guess. I mean, the Colorado Supreme Court can do what it wants. It's a state Supreme Court. They knew that. They put this decision on hold because they knew it was going to get looked at. And I think that might have been even their intent was, let's say it is an insurrection and use our legal arguments. You can make the argument, whether as weak as you want to call it, it's logical and rational, and then have it appealed, which Trump did, and let the Supreme Court actually make the call about this. Okay, this is what we're going to do. This is what the bar is for insurrection. And then we have the standard going forward. Because right now we have no standard. And, if we had nothing like this, go on, who knows what Trump will do 4 years from now when he's technically not allowed to even run again, and he's probably going to try to do it just because he's fucking nuts and he wants to stay in power for as long as he wants. So, I don't know. I feel like having the Supreme Court say yes or no, he didn't do an insurrection, and this is what it means, I think will probably be for the best anyway. So, in the long run, it might be good.
I actually agree with you. I think we will, in the long run, disagree on whether it's an insurrection or not, but I do believe this is a good process to do it. I don't. I mean, I really hate that it's Colorado that did it. I'm so. Yeah.
I fucking hate the state.
But I think, rip the Band-Aid off. Hurry up and make a fucking decision on it, because this shit leads to civil war if you keep picking away doing shit like this, and especially if the guy doesn't get convicted of anything. I mean, their people are already really pissed, and it just seems like we're just getting shoved in this direction towards there's gonna be an armed conflict at some point if like you said, a huge decision isn't made. And I think you're absolutely they're probably gonna strike it down, because it's on pretty tenuous legal basis from what I understand. I think
they've got to, whether you agree with it or not, they've all got to be on the same page.
Yeah,
that's the only best case scenario. All of them on the same page.
You also have to think about it though. If every state looked at these lawsuits and basically disregarded them, like a lot of states have, it's just no, this doesn't apply. Trump's just going to do whatever he thinks he can get away with. And so you thought that January 6th was bad. He's going to do something even worse. If he doesn't win the election in 2024 or whatever, he's going to do something else. He's going to try to hit that bar, whatever that bar may be. So that's
keep his opponents off the ballot.
Who knows? He's just going to
jail his political opponents.
Whatever.
And
he's already said what he wants to do when he gets elected.
He said he's going to try to get away with anything he can get away with. Every president we've had for the past 25 years.
But he's worse, and he's worse. All right.
No,
so, I don't know. They're
what I consider worse is a party that they use the FBI, and the FBI through bullshit pushed this narrative that Donald Trump was a Russian asset, and they stalled his entire presidency over bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
It wasn't bullshit. We can go through that, Matt, but it wasn't that much. I understand that it wasn't clear cut, concrete, but it wasn't bullshit. We can go back and forth on that.
Trump
but
was a Russian agent.
I didn't say that he was a Russian agent. I think that he tried to get away with whatever he wanted to do with the Russians. I mean, he freaking had a meeting with Russian agents trying to dig up dirt on his opponents. that kind of shit. Like, I'm not saying that by itself is evidence of total collusion, but it's a pattern of shit that's been going on. He'll do whatever he can.
So
Like,
hold on.
They used a
Morally,
British asset to dig up this bullshit dossier to start the entire investigation
which was
against
legit
him.
for a lot of those things. Like, I know we're talking about a lot of shit that wasn't part of that dossier, but a lot of that dossier was real. So, you know, we can shit on it if we want, and that's fine, but we got to take it a little bit seriously. And,
So, Rob,
and that's the thing, you know.
morally, what's the difference between making a story up and then or trying to get dirt with the Russians? Like, morally, aren't they equal? I feel like you're being
legally, it was wrong because they lied on the fucking FISA application.
Oh, that's
knowingly
true.
lied.
Lied about what? What are we talking about?
About the dossier and its veracity and the
like, I
of
understand
it.
that a lot of it was just weird made up bullshit, but a lot of it wasn't. So that's where I'm like, you know.
Yeah, but they omitted the part on the FISA application that they're like, hey, the veracity of this information is really not that well.
Well, that was like testimony or whatever it is, saying that this was, so like, one person saying it's legit and the other person saying it's not legit, and like, whatever. I'm not saying that dossier is like the smoking gun of everything, and if you want to use that to discredit the whole thing, that's fair enough. But I'm saying is that there was enough shady shit that Trump was trying to do, and I'm not saying that he was trying to be like this isn't the James Bond like conspiracy theory deal, but like the way that he was going about handling Russia is evidence of just shady fucking shit that the FBI was totally legit in looking into. Whether or not it needed to drag on for 2 or 3 years is another matter.
Admitting you got a judge fired.
Yeah, but using and this all came out in the Durham report, which is also another,
which was kind of laughably nonsensical, but you know, we'll
like the Mueller report.
Mueller report was a lot better. All right, like I don't know why you're making fun of that shit that much. Like,
a lot better.
You know, he basically the whole Mueller even admitted, like, I don't know what I'm doing right now because I have to be telling you that he's colluding, but collusion isn't a crime, and so I have to give this to the Attorney General saying, yeah, he did basically X, Y, and Z, but I can't say it's a crime because that's not my job. I'm just telling you what he could have been doing, and then he goes through, and then the worst part was the 10 different instances of obstruction that Trump engaged in, which, you know, coincidentally you guys aren't talking about, but it's also fucked up the way that he was doing that. And like,
but he also did not recommend charges either.
He didn't say that. He said this could be a crime, it couldn't be a crime. Attorney General Barr, you fucking deal with it. And Attorney General Barr did what he thought was, I think he was a pussy, and he didn't want to cause any more crap, but he didn't say, no, he didn't, don't charge him. Mueller did not say that. He said, you know, I can't say this is a crime. I can't say this isn't a crime. All right. And it's Attorney General Barr's basically his judgment. And that's where I get mad, is that Attorney General Barr could have proceeded with things like if he wanted to. He absolutely could have. You know
why this time is so fucked up? I don't like Trump. I don't want him to be my president. But only the Democrats could fucking get me on the side of Trump. Like, in an argument.
Don't vote for Trump. Jesus. Like,
I'm not voting at all. I told Matt, I'm fucking done.
All right.
I'm so done. Like, you go ahead, Rob. Fucking fuck up the country. Go ahead, bud. You too, Matt. Go vote for Ron Paul.
If you had the choice, like, I mean, we can debate that crap, but like, I don't like it when we start talking about this shit like it doesn't mean anything. Like, what Trump did was fucked up. And
yes, it was.
You know,
and
I'm not.
Like, you guys are making him a martyr.
I'm saying, like, we have this system of laws in place. We have the rule of law. We have the process and all this shit that we're going through, and the process by which they used to start the entire investigation was based off of bullshit. So, like if you can't even follow through the right process,
not going to disagree with you, but I will disagree like a little bit. Like, I know a lot of it was bullshit, but a lot of it wasn't. So, and that's the thing about the FBI. Like, a reasonable suspicion of criminal doing is enough for pretty much any criminal investigation. You know, whether or not it gets to the level of actually charging somebody is supposed to be, you know, they'll say, yeah, you could have done it, but you probably didn't, so we're not going to do anything. And that's kind of how most charges kind of do. But, we're looking at this like this terrible thing that he did, that he investigated the president for some fucking fucked up shit that he was doing.
No, but they used bullshit to get the surveillance warrant. That's the whole point of it. They got all the information they got was through a bogus warrant because they lied on the application. See,
that's where I'm like, I don't know why you're saying that they lied on it. I'm saying that you can use part of the testimony as saying this is bullshit, but you have other part of the testimony that says this is not bullshit. And so when you, as the FISA judge, are looking at this and you're like, okay, I got one guy saying it's bullshit, I got another guy saying it's not bullshit, I'll allow it. Let the process go through.
They omitted the fact that one guy called bullshit. That's the whole point. To the judge didn't know that anybody called bullshit on it.
But do you think that if they didn't omit that shit, and that's also they're not required to omit or to not omit it. Like nothing was technically illegal in that regard. I don't see I'm not sure what you're talking about when it comes to this was illegally done. I know there's arguments about it, but there's no specific charges of some kind of a violation of civil rights or anything like that would suggest that the FISA court application was completely bullshit. I know it's shady. I'm not disagreeing with that, but it's
criminals are supposed to be shady. The government is supposed to work for the people, right? And this man was duly elected.
Yeah.
So it was a soft coup from the inside, dude.
That's bullshit. I won't call that. I will say that it was, they're looking at some really fucked up information about Trump and not really being able to say no to it. They can't just let it go. And so that's as much as I'm going to go in terms of thinking that they were doing something, they were trying to do some kind of coup. I think that they had a lot of evidence against Trump. They, and they had some evidence that said no, but they went with what that said yes. And I get that. I understand when they go for that in that. And it's not like Trump has lost anything in this regard anyways. He got
he's
an investigation into this kind of stuff that lasted 2 years. It didn't amount to anything, and fine. I still think that he did a lot of fucked up shit. I still think he's guilty of multiple crimes,
Oh, me
so
too.
and
I agree. The Saudi shit is fucking despicable, dude. Those are the motherfuckers that attacked us on 9/11. The fucking Saudis. And Donald Trump is rolling in Saudi money right now.
Mhm.
Just fucking.
When is the Russian piss video coming out?
I want to
see the Russian piss video.
You think Stephen Hawking ever saw it?
He probably made him fucking watch the video and then draw it on the chalkboard that was slightly.
That Rusky ate asparagus.
Now have her shit on his chest.
Did you eat corn last night?
More.
What's your predictions heading is because we're officially in election year. What's your predictions going forward?
We can't make it up. It's I've got nothing.
Well, we're definitely going to have a guy that was a president that was impeached twice, attempted to engage in an insurrection, and he's going to get reelected dutifully in 2024. That I can assure you. All right.
I would bet our next president's 80 something.
Yeah. Regardless, we're gonna have a crusty old fuck for president.
Who's gonna have a heart attack first is what I would like to know.
I think Joe Biden's just in a constant state of heart attack. At this point.
Wait,
I would go more with stroke, but
Yeah,
that picture you sent us, Matt, what's going on with Uncle Joe in that picture?
Oh,
did he get sunburned or what's going on?
Apparently he got sunburned in the Virgin Islands.
Did he get sunburned with an eye patch on? Because his right eye is all white.
Well, he fell asleep with his little goggles on,
Oh, got it.
I or something. I don't know, but yeah, here
What's he looks
It does
he
look
looks
That's
like
worse than
the,
Trump.
yeah,
he looks like the geriatric version of the Terminator. When like he gets half his eye taken
That
out,
does
it's just
look
the
like
metal.
him.
it
You
doesn't
should
look
pull
like
up like
sunburn
a.
though. It looks like chemical burns,
You should pull up Arnold and like in 60 or 7 or whatever. Like he definitely does look like that. He's got the same kind of suit too. That white shirt, black suit thing.
Well, white shirt and black suit is pretty common.
Yeah, see that face right there in the middle. I think.
California.
Oh yeah,
Welcome to California.
he looks like he's shaving. Like he looks like he's still got shaving cream on his face. Yeah, he's
I just come from the gym, worked out, got a great pump. But while I was pumping up, it was like 15 people or so came up to me for advice. I mean, they want to be useful. So I said to myself, why not just open it up to my Redditors and just say, hey, if you have any questions, ask me. I'm around right now.
fucking guy.
Okay.
Cool, Dad.
Yeah.
So I sent everybody a picture of that picture of Joe Biden and a picture of Cotton Hill, and I think that's a pretty apt comparison, if I do say so myself.
He just needs to be a little shorter.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's why Joe Biden can't walk upstairs, because he's actually Cotton Hill wearing stilts. Let me find my.
You should have some Cotton Hill. When are you getting your soundboard together? I feel like you've been talking about it for a year and just nothing fucking happened.
Whenever I decide to do it, I'll do it. But it's as right now. But I mean, the resemblance is pretty uncanny.
How does Uncle Joe pronounce it? Nazis.
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 I can't fit him in, Jack. And I think he's actually just still plotting to assassinate Castro. Like that was always like a running joke in King of the Hill that that freaking Cotton was gonna assassinate Castro, because he tried to do it at the Yankees game one time, and then he tried to steal a boat. I think Cotton got senile too, and he's doesn't realize that Castro's dead, and he's still trying to assassinate that motherfucker.
Well, it finally happened. Matt became an Instagram girl because he's got a picture of himself in his fucking underwear. Only his underwear.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm.
Tits hanging in the wind.
Oh, these are pecs now,
He's got
baby.
some big ass titties.
I wish I had 4 thumbs so I could give those titties 4 thumbs down.
No, I'm going carnivore this month, so I'm gonna see how that treats me.
Now, is this a diet? Like,
yeah, so it's
like paleo,
kind of, but it's all meat. Meat,
nice.
Meat, dairy, and eggs. So I'm trying to do somewhere between 90 and 95% carnivore for the month. And so I've got my green supplements that I'm still gonna take, and then peppers and onions every now and then, but mostly just meat, eggs, and cheese.
Is ivermectin
That sounds
considered
delicious.
a vegetable?
I mean, you could label it that way, I suppose. I mean, it's probably not exactly true, but you can label.
So what's the typical breakfast for this diet?
Eggs,
actually,
bacon.
Lots of bacon.
Yeah,
lots of
bacon.
bacon.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you get a lot of fat. I typically don't eat breakfast, so I could do a shake with my greens and red supplements that I have in the morning.
Man.
Yeah, Bat, like you went 40-year-old yuppie mom. What else vitamins you taking?
Oh, I got all sorts of vitamins and stuff.
That's those
but-
omega-3s.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. Omega-3, collagen.
Are you getting the your daily dose of pool boy penis in your butt?
Well, it's a little
Cold
cold
on the
right now,
penis.
so and we have an outdoor pool, so we don't really have much need for a pool boy right now. So
Uh-huh.
that part's a little slow this time of year.
You're fasting on dick, okay?
Yeah.
Got it.
No, like my lunch was eggs, Italian sausage, and like a big stick of butter and a bunch of cheese.
Big
Big stick of butter.
Well, not a stick, but like it was like 2 tablespoons worth of butter and a couple slices of cheese. It was a little omelet.
I'm just
Simply.
picturing Matt fucking now eating just a stick of butter like it's fucking a Snickers. No,
No,
it's healthy. It's a diet. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I bet I lose weight.
I bet you would.
I bet you I do.
What's
Here I
your
am.
source of fiber?
Fiber, that's that green supplement I take, but I don't take too much fiber. Yeah, just if I get real backed up, I'll start eating some veggies, but
Take the
Yeah.
occasional laxative.
as long as I'm pooping good, I'm not gonna change it up. So I don't know. I had a guy message me, said his dad's been on carnivore for 3 years and he's 65 with a 6-pack. So like, all right, cool. If it works,
for him.
it works. I don't think it's for everybody, but I'm willing to try it.
I want it. I'm gonna try it. I want to try it.
Well, we're only 3 days in. It's World Carnivore Month. You want to join me, Rob?
I do. I'm also
That's all
afraid
the
because it
pork
says no
chops you can
fruit
eat.
or no fruit or like no
Well,
fruits
don't
at all.
go
Because I fucking love myself like some strawberries or grapes. I want to eat those.
Oh, I do too.
can't
I
do
like
His
that shit.
fruits.
So that's why I didn't want to go strictly
Okay.
carnivore. That's why I'm trying to keep it.
So you
above
can cheat on
90%.
that, and it says no booze.
Well, that's your call. I'm not boozing for January, so but yeah, I'm not laying that on you. No,
Ooh, they like
I'm-
freaking crab,
I've heard-
oysters, scallops is a good thing.
oh yeah,
I like it.
beef, pork, bacon. Like, yeah, you got to get fat in there. So just eat some fucking bacon and butter. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. Yeah. So Rob's prediction is Trump winning again. How insane do you think the Democrats go after him if he does get reelected? Like,
I mean, I
what
think at that
kinda-
point they're probably just going to give up.
you
Like,
think so?
No
what are
way.
they going to do? All right, like other than just shooting him, like I don't know what else they're going to try.
I
So-
don't discount that either. Like, I don't discount.
Maybe they'll
somebody-
poison him or something like that. But
I mean, so the opposition party candidate in Taiwan just got stabbed. There was one of the candidates down in El Salvador got assassinated. Yeah, I don't know. Like, so I'm not taking that off the table. I'm not advocating for it, Mr. NSA man, Mr. FBI guy. Not advocating for anything.
the
but
fuck
I'm
you not?
I'm not taking that off the table as something that could happen, because also we got a Kennedy running again, so he just got on the ballot in Utah. I saw.
Yeah,
so-
I don't know. I mean, unless you have some kind of crazy trans activist go after Trump, there's not like the Democrats are pretty pussy like when it comes to violence, you know.
See, that's
unless you
the
got like the
part
Black Lives Matters guys, but they don't really have that much of a beef with Trump.
But
that
they
much,
don't like-
you know.
They're not big fans of Biden anymore either. So
Exactly. So I don't know. I just don't. I don't
yeah.
see it in them to be able. I don't see them having the competency to pull off something like that. You'd have to get some kind of covert deal going. So
See, that's the thing that really kind of makes me nervous, because I don't think the lefties that are really like the diehard, like we're getting Trump at all costs, like I don't think they realize how many guns Trump supporters have. I mean, like truly probably more guns than the US military. and ammo to back it up. I'm not joking about that. And
they have hot tub booby traps.
And I'm not saying that they're in the right at all. I'm just saying it's kind of like with Russia. Like,
did you say
stop
boobies?
fucking poking the bear? You know, like how about ease back and try some words before you get shot in the face? Is kind of my general feeling towards the Democrats right now. Is like, you're really poking a large, angry bear, and I wish you wouldn't, because I don't have a good side to pick right now. So like my option is to retreat to the hills, and so stop doing that, because I'd like to go places and do shit without fear of running into a militia somewhere that I don't agree with. It's like.
I mean, if the worst you got is what happened on January 6th, I don't know. Like,
well, that's what I'm saying.
I want to know if there's worse than that. So,
I know there's worse than that, because
you want to know?
They didn't show up,
and I've seen their arsenals. That's the thing. Is like I know the arsenals. Like, I've got several guns of my own, and I ain't got shit compared to your average Trump supporter.
So serious question. If they weren't willing to show up on January 6th, then like how much would they be willing to show up in the next Trump presidency for whenever he tries to throw down shit? Like,
when if it comes down to where they say you can't vote for this guy, I think all bets
Colorado
are off.
said it. They haven't done anything. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'm when it comes down to it, and if it rules that like Trump can't get on the ballot, I think all bets are off, man. I'm not. That's my prediction. If that happens, it's gonna be ugly. I'm not, once again, not advocating for it, especially over that fucking dude. Like, I'm all about the process and like, and if indeed he does somehow get convicted of some sort of crime pertaining to that particular incident, if they can tie him to the organization and all of it, that and like direct orders to go into the Capitol, then yeah, you get him dead to rights. He can't run. Like, that's out of bounds, even as
Agreed.
commander in chief. But short of that, man, let the people speak, because there's a lot of fucking people that are gonna be really pissed. And I know you say like they didn't do anything last time, and I know.
We don't want to chance it, Rob.
No, I don't. I was just saying, like, why poke the bear? Especially,
so I mean, to calm your nerves a little bit, like, you got two states that have done it, both very blue. Like,
I know.
So you're not gonna see Texas, Ohio, Florida, Iowa. I'm trying to think, like Michigan. Some of these other swing states, Arizona. Like, you're not going to see any of those states do that, and that's the only states that matter.
I guess Michigan did. They shut it down, I guess. So
they're fucking good. No. You know why? Because they're fucking crazy in Michigan. Right. Like they're the West Virginia of the
that's what
Northeast.
I'm saying, and that
they're fucking crazy.
Like, Trump's diehard supporters are guys that are crazier than me. Okay, like
nobody's crazier than you, Matt.
Maybe not, but I like.
You get Matt on a horse for 3 hours just sitting by himself. Nobody's crazier.
Oh, 3 hours. I'm just getting warmed up, baby. No, I'm just. I feels like these prosecutors, like the DOJ, and like they're really kind of getting out over their skis on this shit, and it's pushing us into something that could really end ugly, and I don't. It ain't worth it, especially over Donald fucking Trump. Like that guy, COVID showed you everything you needed to know about Donald Trump. He could have called in, he could have sent in troops to quell riots at the Capitol. He could have done. Yeah, but guess what? They checked his power and they said you can't do that, and he said fine, whatever, let it. Like that's not what a dictator does. A dictator sends.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
anyways,
he's gonna be that's what scares me, is that next year or whatever, like, he's not gonna have the guys that will check him. Like, he's gonna have Stephen Miller and a bunch of sycophants just saying, all right, let's do it. Like, and you're gonna see a lot more shit that he wants to do that he tried to do last time that And his only mistake was having people that would actually have the balls to stand up to him. So he learned his mistake. He's not that like I think he's an idiot, but he's not that like he wants to be a dictator, and he knows what he needs to do to be a true dictator now. And so he's gonna find people. He's gonna have people that are gonna obey what he wants to do, and he's gonna get rid of the people that will check him. So that's what scares me a lot of the Trump presidency is how much he's actually gonna be able to get away with, and not even the courts are gonna stop him this time. Like it's just gonna go rampant. And,
Rob, if he steps down after his 4 years, you have to blow me and Matt.
No.
Yep.
All right, I'll go.
If he steps down,
with small, no eye contacts.
No bullshit. You're looking me in the fucking eye.
Now, see what I think a lot of on the anti-Trump side of things is what you don't realize is Trump is not the strong man. It's the person that comes after him you have to worry about because Trump's still pretty fucking liberal. You don't want Marjorie Taylor Greene as president. Like that bitch will I don't know what version of Christianity she follows, but it's
fiery.
It's a little spicy. It's a little spicy. And like Tom Cotton will send in the military without giving it a second thought, dude. That guy's ready to be a dictator, and he's pretty well liked in the Republican Party. Like those are the people you have to worry about. Trump is
one step at a time. Like
Trump's a crazy guy, but you guys and I say you guys because it's Democrats.
Him. Like there are so many people that are willing to vote for somebody like that they won't vote for Tom Cotton. Like maybe the Republicans part, but the independents and the non-affiliated and all those guys that are going to vote for Trump, they're not going to vote for Tom Cotton or any of these Republicans. You've seen them in all the elections up through now. Like those guys don't win. The only guy that's going to win, is Trump. So I'm not as worried about those other guys behind him because nobody likes them. Beyond just a small group of GOPers that like him, but like
right now,
he doesn't have the people. They don't have the people. They're never going to get the people. At least
they don't. They don't like him right now. But you keep allowing this unchecked flow of migrants. You keep allowing the crime rates in the cities.
Always blaming the migrants, somebody.
Oh yeah, I'm a legal Mexican. Okay, so I get my hackles up when I'm talking about migrants.
You're not legal Mexican in my mind.
No, I mean
you're all illegal.
It's kind of hard to ignore the problem when you have two of the most liberal cities in the country bitching about it, and that's just a portion of the migrants. Like that's not even the vast majority of them. So like it's an issue, and
Rob,
at some point there's going to be an overcorrection to the right side, and we know that the authoritarian rights gets pretty ugly.
So Rob, I had a legal question. If a city declares itself a sanctuary city, do they have any legal recourse with the busing coming in if they've declared themselves a sanctuary city?
Honestly, like that whole
even though it's not a technical legal term, but they're like
it's just for show. Like it's basically doing what you already are allowed to do. Like if you're saying you're a sanctuary city, you're just telling people that we're not gonna fucking snitch on you. And that's that, which they don't have any legal reason to do anyways. They've been working with the government, with ICE and whoever, to handle like the really bad illegals, and the drug dealers and all that kind of stuff. But when they announced the sanctuary city kind of stuff, it's just really for the migrant workers to not be afraid, to be able to live and whatnot, and not feel like they're going to be rounded up like freaking dogs and thrown into camps like Trump says he wants to do.
Yeah, but then when they actually show up, they're like, "Ew, get them out."
Yeah, well, I mean,
I didn't need
it.
it.
Not in my backyard crap.
I didn't need it.
Cliche.
They're supposed to be in Texas,
right?
So, like, but they can do what they want. They can say no, you can't come in here.
You get them off. Get them off.
Like nothing. Like it just makes them look bad. But beyond that, again, like it's just trying to say your sanctuary city is just trying to gin up some progressives to make you feel better about it. But other than that, it doesn't have any.
Kind of really bit him in the ass with this whole busing of migrants, didn't it?
It
Kind of
did.
backfired.
A little bit.
Kind of
I
backfired.
think they just
but-
didn't see it coming. That there would be so many of them actually listening to them and say, "Oh, you're
How
not going to
could
do
you
anything."
not see that coming?
Right.
I will blame
How
Texas and Florida for being bitches and like screaming about how you're not allowed in here, and so then they kind of naturally flow to places that, whether or not you have a sanctuary city kind of declaration, they're still like, what do you want them to do? They have to go somewhere, and Texas is saying we're
the
gonna freaking
process.
throw
That's
you
been the
in
argument
jail.
for fucking ever. Go through the process of getting here.
They
and-
can't. Like it's a 30-year process.
I'm 100% in agreement with you. And
Yep.
that part has to change. Like
Yep.
there has to be a better way
But like
to
in
do
the
it.
meantime, what I'm saying is like in the meantime, some poor bastard who's fleeing from Guatemala. What do you want to? He can't sit in Mexico. Like he can't.
Well,
he's not. It's not his
Legally,
choice.
the Supreme Court said that he could.
Like I don't care what they legally can do. Practically speaking, they can't just sit there. They're gonna die. They need to go to a place where they can work, they can live, and they can be safe. And America happens to be that. And so sitting around, bitching about the legal process, it's disingenuous, I think, like just because of the fact that legal process is so broken. So there's got to be a different way.
No,
I'm not saying just open it up and let them all in. I'm not saying that. But
that's what's been happening, though.
I know, but
God,
I understand the problem, but we have to do it humanely. We can't just be bitches about it and scream and yell about it, which is all of us have been doing for the last 3 or 4 years.
When are they going to make Rob just wait in Mexico? I'm waiting for that day.
Wait, me? Like the Jews or just me?
No, just you. Just you. Fucking
I was
Rob.
born here, bitch.
Ugh. You fucking idiot, Rob. You fucking idiot.
Don't you love me?
What's is your boy Zelensky gonna make it through the year before getting ousted? Because they're not real happy with him over there either. It seems like
He's survived so far,
but he's got Klitschko speaking out against him. He's got his defense
Oh.
minister speaking out against him.
What was the Klitschko thing?
he
now?
was so beloved by a lot of people. Like what, 6 months ago? Well, that's like a year ago.
Well, that's
Like-
before about 100,000 of them died. So,
So
so
I mean,
What-
I think he's squirrely. I think he'll survive long enough. But
I
probably
bet
he'll
you
be out.
he lives long enough to make it to the UAE or somewhere. I don't think he's gonna survive as president for very
Like-
much longer.
Physically or just politically?
Politically, at the very least, I wouldn't be surprised.
Easy
if
Rod. Easy Rod.
I wouldn't be surprised if he gets taken out because it is still Eastern Europe. For they do things a little different.
I just
For
feel
all the
like if
top-
they were going to kill him, they would have done it by now. Like they took out Putin's whoever that guy was pretty easily. So if they really wanted to, they probably would have done it. Like, so I don't know. Like I feel
No,
like
I'm talking about from within. Like he's
I
still
know.
got that. He's got that hard right neo-Nazi faction that still not a fan of Jews.
they don't like
So
Jews.
Allegedly.
allegedly, yeah. I mean,
There's some good people on both
the-
sides.
these are modern day swastikas, all right. They mean totally different things. The Uden deal. That little guy wouldn't worry about that little
Don't
guy.
worry about that little guy.
No, I think he's probably he's not long for power. I don't know whether he gets taken out or if he just gets ousted. I don't know, but
I'd go the second route. I think that he probably will get moved.
That's
Just like
the
any other
more-
parliamentary politics, he'll probably be like Boris Johnson or whatever it is, just get taken out, or like whatever politically, just step down or
yeah,
something like that
I
after
think
a while.
That's the more likely scenario, but depends on how bad he wants to stay in power, I guess. It's
those former comedians, man. We'll see what happens.
well, and funny thing is the CIA is pretty good at staging coups. They're not really so much good with the cleanup afterwards, but they're pretty good at toppling a government. So it wouldn't take much, I don't think.
Who would the
Yeah.
CIA replace him with? Is what I get. What my question would be.
Jim
Klitschko.
Carrey.
Yeah. Well, who's the guy?
Klitschko,
Who's that
dude.
comedian that came out? Or not the comedian? The guy that Steven Seagal, right? He's pro Ukraine or whatever. Like
No,
into
he's
that-
a
pro-Russian.
Russian citizen.
whatever. Like they'll put him in there. I don't know. Like
No,
Never
I
mind.
think eventually, like Ukraine's probably losing those provinces, and they'll probably end up joining NATO, but they're not getting back the Donbass or Crimea. Or would be my guess. Russia can just wait them out.
I
Fucking
still give
Ni-
it to him for lasting this long. I honestly didn't think it would last more than 6 months before Putin rolled in, and
I
it's
will
been
say
2 years.
they've done okay, but their average age of their soldiers is like 43 right now, so they're
Ugh,
kind of
jeez.
they're running out of people. They've had I heard somewhere like in the neighborhood of like 15 million people have fled Ukraine as well. So like they're
And
they're
that
doing-
they should have learned that specifically. The Russians, they will wait you till freaking everybody's dead. Like
they
that history
perform-
is not something that you
perform
want to get into a
horribly for
ground
like
war
the
with.
first year or two, but then they figure shit out, and then they just keep throwing bodies at the problem. And now and drones. That's the craziest thing is especially like for these insurgent groups is like we're spending so much money shooting down their cheap ass drones. It's fucking absurd. It's like $1.5 million for every time we fire a missile at one of those stupid drones. Damn it, that's so dumb.
They couldn't just use one of those big guns on a ship that Tim used to shoot all the time in the Coast Guard.
Who knows? I don't know. They're like, we don't
What a
need
laser
those
pointer. I
guns
thought those
anymore. We
worked.
got missiles. That would be something that our government would do. Like, we got all these missiles. Who needs a machine gun? Oh fuck. Yeah, we could have took that thing out.
We threw all our machine guns in the water.
Yeah, we they're not environmentally friendly. They got too large of a carbon footprint, so we're using Raytheon missiles instead because Raytheon cares.
They're electrified by solar.
And they're going to be in rainbow colors just to make sure that they know we're all about
Did you
equity.
see that one of Elon's robots attacked a dude?
No.
I just watched a weird movie on Netflix that had basically like a cyber attack where all of the new Tesla cars autopilot feature makes the cars turn themselves back around and like crash into each other. And so it just all the streets are all just littered with Tesla cars, of like brand new Tesla cars just crashing into each other. I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh man.
Come on, that's funny.
It is funny, but it's like it's totally possible now.
It-
Too.
that's why it's not.
That's the horrifying part of it.
Oh, all right, Matt, I'm fading. I'm going to go have nightmares about Teslas running me
Yep.
over. And
Toodaloo.
I don't know. Maybe Iran bombing me. Oh, no. You know what? My other nightmare is going to be Skynet taking out Matt and then immediately after taking me out because I was part of his stupid
Yep.
fucking conversation.
But they leave the Jew alive.
and then to put a
because-
nice little bow on this entire episode, what if it happens that Donald Trump is the dictator that we've been warned about, and he ushers in this, and it's like let's say it's the left wing side is right, and then also like the super far out there conspiracy group is also right that Trump is actually a pawn to institute the new one world government and whatever. So now we're all just
Wait. That one world government is all the Jews, right? So I will live.
Well,
and
obviously.
you guys will die. Okay.
Well, I
I'm
see.
okay
I
with
got
that.
enough Jew. That's why I did my 23andMe. I wanted to make sure I'm
I don't
covered
think
at
you're
all
gonna
costs.
count, man. I think you need to get up there in your percentage.
Rob,
I
I
don't
will
know,
so
man.
be your
If we're-
ass wiper. I'll be your ass wiper, Rob. It's
Hey,
fine.
If we're using like the Nuremberg laws as a standard, I count, man. I count.
I'm gonna have to challenge that, right? But we'll
Actually,
see.
I don't know if that's true at all. That's an outrageous claim. But if to be fair,
It's actually not hard to be a Jew under the Nuremberg laws. Like, so, you know,
that's what I'm saying. And the Nazis were the ultimate Jew haters, right? So like,
You can say
if
that.
they've got it figured out who constitutes a Jew, like I'm not saying they did many things right, but like that seems like a pretty decent standard as to who qualifies for Jewish lineage, right?
Rob,
it seems like they spent a lot of time figuring that out.
Rob, we'll be friends for 20 years here in 2024. Does it count
you
that
start sucking
I
my
was a
dick right
friend?
now.
Well, maybe we could do each other. You're gonna suck my dick after Trump
no.
steps down, and then I'll suck your dick
Only at a
when the
matter of
Jewish.
necessity. I don't need to do that now.
Yeah.
Right?
Full eye contact. I swear to God, Rob, you better look me in the fucking eye, or I'm just gonna punch you with the telephone.
Well,
Look at me at the fucking eye.
We should make this a segment at the end of our shows this year, and
Rob
we'll
sucking dick.
No, we'll call it Jew or No Jew, and we'll determine via the
Get a picture of Bradley Cooper's
the
nose.
Nuremberg laws whether or not they're deemed a Jew. Not for any odious reasons, but just for a laugh, you know.
And like I said,
But
when we agree that he's a Jew, we put a big picture of Bradley Cooper and his freaking giant schnoz. Like,
yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. But anyway, back to my original point. So let's imagine that Donald Trump's got us all enslaved or whatever. What if Stephen Hawking's not dead and we're out there, you know, picking peaches or whatever for the one world government, and you just hear over a loudspeaker, "Work it, bitch. Jump, you fat loser. Work it. Work
get
it.
Get it done.
He's just gonna make giant chalkboards so we all look like little people.
I like those jelly rolls, fatty.
Shake them tits for me.
My milkshake brings all the Jews to the yard.
You fucker.
No, it's okay. Spread them.
Wider.
All right. On that note, move your ass. Burning daylight.
Get.
Good guys and bad guys, cowboys and Indians, sinners and saints, masters and minions. They're all the same to me. They're all the same to me. Winners and losers, the weak and the strong ones, the young and the old, the right and the wrong ones. They're all the same to me. They're all the same to me. And your politics magic might have fooled everybody, but you didn't pull nothing on me. Choose your battles or bite your tongue, 'cause you know the words have wings. Bar your windows and lock your doors when the puppets start cutting their strings. And watch your step when you find yourself in the company of kings. Good luck and bad luck, hard times and easy street, fortune and failure,